Hello to everyone on this Monday morning. It's the Old Soldier coming at you today from Robeson County, North Carolina, just outside of little old town of Parkton. If you don't know where that's at, folks, go to a map of North Carolina, find that crap hole town of Fayetteville, come south, past the little old town of Hopeless Mills, and you'll see little old Parkton. There you have it. Yes, I called Fayetteville a crap hole. Why? It's a bastion of liberalism. But anyway, that's another story for another time. What I want to talk about right now is the media's premature attempt to determine who this country's next leader will be. The fact that what was once a bastion for for conservative news has turned liberal. Yes, I'm referring to Fox News. The entire media ought to be ashamed of themselves. And it goes to prove that when you forget history, you're bound to repeat it. Well, back when President Truman ran, they projected Dewey had won in the newspapers all over. But when all the votes were finally tallied and all litigation, if there was any then, I can't remember that part. But when everything was said and done and the dust settled, President Truman won the election. Again to 2000 between Gore and Bush. Once again, the media had Gore as the projected winner. Then it was determined through court action that indeed President Bush had won the election. And even the last election, 2016, the media had prematurely started to call Hillary Clinton the winner up until the day of the election. Now, combine that with the fact that there has been a multitude of reports, videos, and other documented evidence presented in multiple battleground states of voter fraud, intimidation, and outright lying by election officials. So now, friends, the question is, how do we fight? I was telling my family right now, the fight is in the courts. That's where the fight is right now. And if the president does not win in the courts, what is the next step after that? See, our elected Republican politicians, so many of them who rode on the president's coattails, have remained silent. They have not stepped up to the plate. They have not issued any statements of what they're going to do to support the commander-in-chief. And for that complacency on their part, they are just as complicit as those election officials that are cheating us. So again, that begs the question, if the legal action does not work, what do we do next? Friends, my question to you is this: what are you willing to sacrifice to remain free? What are you willing to do? How far are you willing to go to stay free and protect your rights? Because the so-called president-elect has already stated how he will enforce a national mask mandate. Which is way overstepping his authority, if indeed he becomes the President of the United States. Not to mention that his vice presidential candidate, Kamala Harris, and he himself, by stating he would make Butthole O'Rourke his gun czar, to eliminate our Second Amendment rights. Kamala Harris even made the statement that she will send agents into your homes to take your guns. We will just go and take them. Yet she's supposed to be a lawyer. Obviously, constitutional law was not her specialty. And see, again, it falls back into that old communist plot that I've been telling you about, folks. Once the population is disarmed, it is easy to subjugate them under fear. So again, patriots, freedom-loving Americans, anybody that's watching this video today, ask yourself, how far are you willing to go in order to maintain your liberty and freedoms? What are you willing to sacrifice? I had a conversation this weekend with my brother from another mother. Part of the conversation went like this. The problem with Republicans is that in the last 40 years, we've learned to allow things to happen when we've been diabolically outmaneuvered. Yes, I said diabolically. And when the left has made promises that if we give up X, Y, Z, they'll promise to maintain or restore ABC, and we've seen time and again that ABC never is restored and is never maintained. It's only further taken away from. And we grow meeker and meeker. Now, mind you, there has not been anybody from our side, if you will, that has gone and burnt buildings, destroyed stores, ravaged neighborhoods and towns and cities. And nor should we. But if the president fails in his legal action, what are you willing to do next? Just keep that in mind. What are you willing to do? How far and how much of a sacrifice are you willing to make? Ask yourself. And it's not an easy decision, folks. So don't misconstrue what I'm saying is that it's an easy decision. But I think the divide is real, and I think the polarization is almost complete. If you look at the numbers, the country is fairly well polarized. And I mean one extreme or the other in a sense of what we believe. I've got a brother and a sister-in-law that I may never have another conversation with. Because my sister-in-law likes to gloat when her liberal left wins. Which is really ironic considering my brother made the comment that when Castro died that pure evil in this world had finally been extinguished. But yet he's a liberal. Considering the modern liberals in this country would love for Castro and Che Guevara to still be alive. Oh yes. Folks, these are some things to think about. And honestly, if you really think Joe Biden will be president much longer after his inauguration, I wouldn't hold your breath on that one either, if it goes that far. We'll see after this litigation and this legal action the president's taking. Because what the media forgot, that one, Congress still has to certify the election results. And if they're being contested in several battleground states, the election can't be called. Now, there's also rumor that Arizona may turn again. So I don't know. Again, the amount of tampering and election fraud is just paramount. But I'm going to get off here for now, folks. We'll see if Big Brother's watching this video too, and we'll see if I get my hands spanked or what have you. But folks, you really need to start thinking, though, what are you willing to do to maintain your freedom and your liberty? Because if this evil actually gets to take the White House, your freedom to defend yourself, your freedom of speech, your freedom of religion will all start to disappear. And not in a long, drawn-out manner this time. Until tomorrow, my friends, God bless. Take care. Keep your head on the swivel. Keep your ear to the ground. Keep your eyes open. Old Soldier out.